Hello Virgo, this is your February 1st to February 15th, 2017 read. For the main read, I'm using the Morgan Greer Tarot, it's the back of them. And for the supporting cards, I'm using the Magical Spell Cards by Lucy Cavendish. There's the back of those, which I think is very pretty. Okay, what do we got going on here? It looks like the first card is for the overall energy is that you feel something is just outside of your reach. I think we're done. Okay. I feel like the bottom card is what we need to do. This is weird. I don't usually do it from the bottom, but hey. Do you want to do this? No. That was weird. I don't usually do it from the bottom, but that's the way I was kind of feeling it, so that's how we did it. Okay. It's the Seven of Rods reversed. That's your overall energy. I think you can see that. Now, right side up, it means one thing. It means staying above, success by, treading water successfully, keeping things above. I just feel like right now what this is saying is that something is just outside of your reach, or I'm kind of feeling like you think it is. This is definitely going to be one of those reads where it's going to depend on what area of your life this connects with. I'm thinking finances for some, career for others, love life a bit, depending, but it's more of an analytical situation if that's the case. Social politics, maybe family dealings, family affairs, things like that, whatever that means. Okay, so something's just without your reach. I'm getting the card like the overall is it's just outside of your reach, but I feel like it's more of a feeling than what's actually happening, especially how this is looking. Let's just get into it here. You're starting out with the Queen of Swords. And the Queen of Swords in this situation, it makes me feel like you're being very detached emotionally from the situation. You're trying to think of it in on paper, stone cold facts, and trying to deal with the situation in that sense. You're trying to be very analytical, very smart about the situation. You're not letting your emotions pull you or push you. You're just thinking about it. This is A, B, and C. This is how they fit in my life. This is how it's going forward. I feel like a lot of people this is career. Some people this is love, though. So you got to take it for what it is. I feel like at this part you might be getting an inkling about where this is actually fitting. Because I feel like it's like you're looking at it very analytically at this spot. But this is also matched, right above it, your mindset is to study. And when you're thinking about this, it's kind of why you're going through it very analytically, and you're talking about it very analytically when necessary. I don't feel like there's a lot of communication, even though this is a communication card. I feel like this is more your mental state and where you are, where you're sitting mentally. If you have some trusted confidence, you may be talking it over with them, but I feel like it's very much in a sense where these are people you trust to keep their mouth shut with stuff you don't want everybody to know. Okay, and I do feel like the situation calls for a little looking deeper into the situation, figuring out what's actually happening, getting some more ammunition, if you will, for the situation to know how you should handle it. As that happens, I feel like that study card with your very analytical look at life in this sense, I almost feel like it's almost cold, and I don't think you mean to be cold. And it's not I don't feel like it's a bad thing, but in this sense, at this point, you need to look at it very analytically and very what's on paper. Now, as you're getting in there, delving deeper, even if you're just thinking it out, especially if you're thinking it out, I feel like as you're going over certain things that you know about the situation, certain things click and you're like, X, and Y are here. Doesn't Z usually come after that? It's that type of, figuring things out. In normal thinking, there's usually another piece. And where is that piece? And you just kind of figure out something is missing, and you kind of search that out. I kind of feel like that, if you start communicating, it's to find out where this missing piece is, or to make sure it does exist. I don't feel like you want to know if it exists. I feel like when you're thinking about the situation, you feel like it should exist. If it doesn't, why doesn't it? And you want to find out more about it. I guess that makes sense. Because it's almost like an equation. I feel like it's a mathematical equation in a sense. Like you're looking at it like there's certain pieces that make this equation work. It doesn't work. It doesn't come out to the same variable at the end if we don't have these pieces in the center. So where are these pieces? Like who's doing these pieces? What's happening? How is this working out? Okay, so that's your study sense. I feel like I feel like you're putting a lot of thought into it, but you're very analytical, like what's on paper. Okay, good. As you do that, and you find these missing pieces, I feel like whatever is going on around you, whatever situation, whatever area of life this connects for you, like you pull out the truth. And I don't feel like it's purposely being kept from you. I do feel, though, that there's certain things that people don't talk about readily unless you ask the questions. They're not purposely like trying to be secretive. They're just kind of like keeping, I almost feel like it's keeping their cards close to their chest because they feel like that's what they're supposed to do, not because they feel like they want to keep something from you, but just they feel like they're not supposed to talk about something until it's valid to talk about it, or something comes up that shows it's a valid thing to talk about. Okay. Right above this in your next part of your line comes the temperance, because I feel like as this information is coming through, you feel like, all right, this is going to take a little more time. I'm going to need to arrange things a little differently. I'm going to have to allow for this. I didn't realize that. I knew this piece was missing. I just didn't realize this is what was happening, and this is what I have to allow for it, and that's fine. I do like, though, that this information, as it comes forward, I feel like you're very much, you like the communication, you're happy with what's going on, you reinforce relationships with other people, and I feel like you're very much a positive support for the situation. You're getting it going, you're keeping it going, you're supporting what's happening, and you're doing what you need to do to make it flourish. I feel like it's almost kind of like a supportive player that offers a few tweaks to improve the situation. Again, you have to take whatever situation this applies to for you. If this is a love situation, I feel like this is like you're adoring someone at this point, and you're just kind of you're involved with them at that point. You are involved in their life, but you're kind of more adoring than anything else at this moment. For other situations where it's more of a platonic connection, I do feel like it's more of the supportive player that's offering to help and keeping things going, offering some bits of advice, while being that very strong, supportive player that people can like help when people need help. You're the person they call on. Right. I feel like there's a very good people I feel like when this card pops up in this spot especially, not only do people tell you and talk with you and they feel more comfortable, I feel like the fact that you asked made them more comfortable, and they feel like more of a friend, more comfortable with you, and they like talking to you. They feel comfortable and safe talking with you, whatever that means in this situation for you. It's also causing the people around you, I feel like you're inspiring them to work harder. I feel like for most of you that's through example. I also feel like it's not only through example, but because you help them do, I feel like they're doing the majority of the work that they're supposed to do, but you're definitely, helping where you can help, moving things forward, getting things done where needed. If there's a bump, you help even out the bump and push the cart across the bump, if that's a great analogy. You keep things going, and people feel like you really are helpful, and you have their best intention, your best intention. You really have a good heart, and there's a good reason. You're not looking to pull something over on someone or set anybody up. You're looking to actually help, and they trust you, and they feel like that's what you do. You're building some type of relationship a little deeper. I don't feel like it's a whole new thing, but I feel like there's deeper connections, more trust. Not that they didn't trust you to begin with, but just it's just deepening that bond, whatever that bond was before. It's deeper through this situation. I feel like there's more coming in. I feel like you take on a lot of emotional stuff from them, but it's not overtaxing for you. But like if they're overtaxed, you're able to talk them through it and help slow them down. And they're like, I understand. There's a whole bucket of stuff you got to do. Let's slow down. Look at it in pieces. These things are very important. Do those first. These things are also important, but not as important as these. So these will be second, and then we'll try to filter in the rest as necessary. And I'll help you sort out things where I can, and help you with what I can help you out with to make this a little easier for you. Or I'll get somebody else involved because I think they can do this too, and I'll get some more resources involved to help you out. Okay. Now, again, I keep saying this because there's a card coming up here that a lot of people are going to connect with a relationship situation. Because when we go out of this time frame, as we're moving through onto, Valentine's Day is the 14th, I believe. As we're going like past that time frame, like this is hitting in the Valentine's section. I know that. We get a lot of good cards here, and one of the cards popping up in your arena is the Lover's card. So if this is something that's resonating in a romantic relationship sector for you, I do feel like you didn't think this person was within your reach, or that you could actually end up dating them, and then it kind of does go your way. And by the way, I'm also seeing like there's a lot of new hope. Like I don't know exactly if it's a date or just somehow like you end up hanging out, but something happens where it gives you hope, like you do have a shot with this person. I'm not going to say right off the bat that there's a Valentine's date, but for some of you that might be what happens. This is a very interesting reading because I don't feel like most of you this is going to be a romantic thing. I really feel like for the most of you, when you get to this part, the situation you're dealing with, I feel like it's what you thought was out of your reach is now within your reach and going the way you feel it should be going, and you feel honored and supported. What word do I want to use? Like you're not subject to the circumstances. You are a part of what's happening, and it's going, and you're able to affect it the way you want to. Affect it. I'm kind of like flipping back and forth between the romantic and the more platonic, because I feel like whatever way it was in the beginning, you didn't think it was going to either work out the way you thought. Either way, you didn't think it was going to work out this way. But at the end, you do see things working out much better and much more to the way you want them to work out, rather than the way you thought you were going to be stuck with, and that they were just going to kind of like chips fall where they may type situation, where you couldn't affect it. With this card above it in your mindset, you're really happy. We got the Harmony card above it. We got the Star card right here, like it's right below that. Harmony, hope, Star, like things working out. For some people, kind of like a wish granted. I know a lot of people like to read that card as a wish card sometimes. I just base it on what I'm getting through it. I feel like things like it's the underlying feeling of hope and inspiration, and things going your way, and the Lovers going your way, things going your way, definitely going your way. Below you in the environment is the King of Rods, which means this is someone taking the action and things moving forward the way they need to. Which again, in a romantic sense, if it's that way for you, this other person you didn't think was in your reach is now showing you a lot of interest and showing how they actually feel about you, which while you had feelings for them, you didn't really think they reciprocated them, but now they're showing that they do. In a business or platonic sense, all those examples I gave in the beginning, if it's one of those examples, the people around you or the person around you that you were trying to help or was starting to get really working in the situation, getting the situation moving, they have now ignited and gone on their own, and they're going forward in a self-sufficient way, and you're very happy and proud about that, and things are working the way you feel they need to. I do feel like as people watch this video, you're going to know what section this fits for you. Sometimes I get people with comments, could this be this, could this be that? It's a general read, so yes, whatever you're feeling, like if you're matching up the rest of this, and you feel it, like for example, if you're a mother and you feel like it's one of your children, you're kind of trying to get them to do something, and you finally inspire them to do that, and they start taking taking that action, but they need some help, and you kind of help them see what they need to do, and you help them categorize and prioritize and get things done, and you help where you need to, but then they start taking it on their own, and you see them, like, you got them going, and now they're taking control of the situation like you really want them to be able to do, so they can handle life on their own successfully. That could be it. But if it's a romantic thing, also the same thing. If you're feeling this really connects that way, then take it that way. Especially this one, because I'm getting like a few different variables, especially with these general reads, and I get more and more people watching them all the time, which I'm very thankful for. So there's a variety of ways to take these. I've personally watched some other videos, and sometimes it's about business, sometimes it's about family, sometimes it's not. Sometimes it is about romantic stuff. And you can usually tell, like, by halfway through, or at the very least, once stuff starts happening, you can connect it, and you can see where things are going. But remember, it is a general read. Take it for what it is. All right. Well, thank you for watching. Of course, if you'd like a general read, if you'd like a read from me, a direct read, a personal read, shoot me an email, james4astral@gmail.com, james4astral@gmail.com. Thank you.